So what I've come across here, I was cleaning out a desk drawer and I found this film can in the desk drawer. Now, I recognize the fact that some of you may not know what a film can actually is. Now, the film can used to contain long rolls of film. Now, this is a little snippet of film. Now this is an interesting device here that's kind of an antique these days because this used to be the means for taking pictures. You know, today, of course, if we want to take a picture, all we got to do is cut on our cell phone and then snap the picture right there, and it's real easy to do, and that's the normal way to take pictures. But it used to be that you'd have to run something called celluloid film through a camera and expose one section at a time to the light through the lens of the camera, and then run it through a developing process. And it was pretty complicated, so you'd have to load this in the dark into the camera, expose it to the light one picture at a time, develop it in order to get this film negative, and then you'd run light through it one more time onto a piece of photosensitive paper in order to get the finished photograph. It was a very time-intensive, labor-intensive process, and as I say, most of it had to be done in absolute darkness in order to work, which made it even stranger to work with. But this was the can that the film would come in. We'd buy the 100-foot rolls of this film, and again, it'd have to be worked with in the dark. We'd open up the film can and take off sections of it here, roll it up and put it into the cameras that we'd use to take the pictures. Again, it seems kind of weird today, but that's what taking pictures used to be in the old days. We had to have a film can. But even just as interesting to me was what was in this film can when I found it in my desk drawer a little while ago. I was cleaning some things up here, and this was stuck in the back. I don't know how long it had been there. It says Kodak Tri-X-Pan film written on that. Kodak was a company that made the film that went into the cameras. But I'd use this not to keep film in. The empty can was something that I used to keep another antique in. This is what we used to call money. And this was the actual little round pieces of metal that had different numbers and pictures on them. Some made out of nickel, some silver, some copper, and this was what we would use in transactions. And this was the antique form of money. These little pieces of metal that you carry them around in your pockets, and if you got too many of them, you'd put them in a film can or something else, to keep them for safekeeping, keep them out of the way, because they're very heavy, very cumbersome to carry around. Of course, this was an antique form of money, and we're getting different, much more efficient forms in the new money right now. So today we can do transactions with Bitcoin, with other cryptocurrencies, and we don't have to rely on the film can. We can in fact use our cell phone there to use a Q code and transfer money instantaneously without having to use the antique form of pieces of metal like this, or even the antique form that we call banks and the intermediary system with that. So I thought this was just kind of an interesting thing to find these antique deals where we used to be able to take pictures, and we used to have to carry around this kind of stuff to do transactions with. If you wanted to exchange some of this for lunch or for a magazine or whatever it is you wanted to purchase, you had to have this kind of stuff on hand, and it's kind of fun to look at these old things and remember the way life used to be. So this is Tim Bost with FinancialCyclesWeekly.com. Thanks for watching, and if you find a film can, be sure to check and find out what's inside.